Now, the final thing I'm going to share with you tonight is about Jung's disruptive model of the human psyche. Just as Einstein stood on the shoulders of Newton to expand our understanding of the universe, Carl Jung stood on the iceberg of Freud to expand our understanding of ourselves. The incredible 4-year dialogue of Einstein and Jung speaks to a mutual interest in the possible links between new physics and new psychology. Einstein and Jung were both moving on that spectrum of ideas that I spoke of earlier. They were moving away from the proven towards the possible. Now, I mentioned earlier that Freud's iceberg model of the conscious and unconscious was partially validated by his extensive work with dreams. I also said that Freud believed dreams were generated by repressed memories, traumas, and wishes from deep inside the individual unconscious. Another way to frame this would be that Freud viewed the action of the unconscious as essentially self-contained and self-generating from within the bounds of our personal psychic iceberg. But as Freud's clinical practice grew, he was sometimes frustrated by accounts of dreams and images, often with ancient or even mythic themes, whose practical connection to the patient could not be easily identified. Freud rationalized that these puzzling, unconnectable dreams were not actually contradictions to his model of the self-contained unconscious. Instead, he theorized that some aspects of the personal unconscious were so severely repressed that even extensive psychoanalysis of these random mythic images might never yield a proper conscious explanation. Now, even though Jung was a long-standing follower and friend, he couldn't bring himself to accept either Freud's rationalizations or the inadequacy of Freud's psychic model. Jung concluded that Freud's view of the unconscious had to be incomplete, and that the key to its completion was embedded somewhere in those contradictions, those mysterious mythic dreams. Both Freud and Jung were themselves intense and vivid dreamers who regularly recorded their dream experiences. But it's yet another irony that the shared obsession with dreams would ultimately set them apart from one another. Freud's dream experiences led him to look inward. Jung's dream experiences led him to look outward.